Hi guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we're checking out how Europe killed my American dream. Yeah, that's something that I heard a lot. Not Europe killed American dream, but American dream in itself was something that I heard a lot when I was younger. Probably when I was like in elementary to high school. Nowadays, not necessarily, but everybody had this idea of freedom, liberty, American dream. There's something else that they call it. I forget. Honey and milk or something of that nature. Um, and then I think slowly people realize that when they go there, it's not what it was advertised. So that is why it's not necessarily something that a lot of people talk about or dream of anymore as compared to, decades ago. Now because they realize maybe Europe or like Australia, UK, or maybe some other Asian countries are more free or are better than the so-called American dream. That's why it's not a thing anymore. But let's hear what this man has to say, or woman. Well, before we start, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell button, and let's get it. Vigosdad. Where's he?
Cześć ludzie, what's up people? Hola, Vigosdad here. Welcome to another episode. Guys, what a beautiful sunny day.
Or is this Europe already?
Sun. I'm here in Pretoria, South Africa. Those apartments that you see.
Me and my eyes. I'm so good. The reason how I know things is because I watch a lot of videos, and also like I like watching. I'm weird. I like watching people walk around. Okay, so anyways, just walk around like 2 hours, 3 hours of people just walking around. Yeah, weird. And also, like, you can see the people who live there and you can guess like where they come from. So that is why I have this weird geographical knowledge of places that I've never in my entire life been to. Yeah, stalkerish, yes.
That's where I live. And today I want to do a different type of episode. I'm going to do kind of like a vlog style. I thought, hey, I almost never do vlog style of content, but I think this is a great opportunity to bring you guys along and talk about this subject: how Europe killed my American dream.
Ooh,
So guys,
that is cool.
this episode I wanted to talk to you about it because I was reflecting on it, because I found some old pictures of my dad when he was living in the United States back in the 90s, and some older pictures also of myself and different trips that I did to the United States. And it got me thinking how much I really wanted to go to the United States. I was very fortunate to be able to visit many times from an early age, but I had this fascination with living in the United States. The culture. I used to play a lot of baseball, but before we talk about that, it's important that we talk about the importance, the relevance of American culture in all the different cultures of the world, especially during the 70s, 80s, 90s, and it was no different in the Dominican Republic. We had the TV shows from America, we had the products from America. I remember the first time that I got to drink Coca-Cola, I think it was Pepsi-Cola, in a can. It was such an abstract concept to me that I would only see on television. So ever since then, I was always very interested in not only exploring the culture, but exploring everything that the United States of America had to offer me. I've spoken about this with my wife plenty of times, and she tells me that it used to be very similar in Poland. She used to consume American media, American shows like Friends, all those shows that molded who we were as teenagers and as young adults.
So true. Oh, are we dancing? We are dancing. Like, where will you see this? In the Philippines, there is also like that, but not often. It's just like two, three people known for doing the traffic, and it's so cool when you see it. Actually, it's really, really cool. Like you're sitting in traffic, and then of course you're pissed. It's hot, and then you just see this person in front of you dancing, and it just brings the hopefulness to life, right? So I love the fact that some countries do that.
I used to be heavily into baseball, and the Dominican Republic is the biggest export of baseball talent to the Major League
Didn't
Baseball.
know that.
And that's a quite remarkable thing if you take into consideration that our population is around 10 million. So I played a lot of baseball. I was a very big fan. And for a person that loves baseball, the United States is like the epitome. At that point, I had already visited. I think I was there for the first time when I was, I don't know, roughly like 8 or 9 years old. And it had music. You see, as a musician that I am, to me, discovering American bands such as Green Day, Metallica, Nirvana, Soundgarden, it was something truly magical. And I wanted to be there. I wanted to be in that reality. And I would spend days and nights daydreaming how my life would look like if I was living in this country. When I finished high school, I proceeded to go to university in Dominican Republic, and after I finished my graduate degree, I started thinking maybe this is my chance. Maybe if I have good grades, maybe if my parents can save enough, maybe if I get a student loan, I can manage to migrate to this place that I've been dreaming for so long. And I started looking. I looked very hard. I was looking for programs on the subject that I wanted to master, and I was looking for a scholarship. And to be honest, my dream got shattered pretty quickly, because for a 2-year master's degree in the University of Texas or something like that, I think I found 3 universities, you were looking at around $200,000, and that was crazy money. It's crazy money right now. Imagine back then.
I haven't recovered from 200,000 for 2 years. What? I don't even think I can earn that when I come back.
Something important that
So no,
happened
thank you.
was that precisely during that time there was a
Oh,
very
you
big
know what is
influx.
interesting, right? So I have so much free time. Like I told you guys, like when I have free time, that's why when I talk about like Europe and then they have this work-life balance thing, I love that. I really, really love that. But as a person who's a workaholic, right? I try to add work to my life. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just fill gaps for crazy reasons. So anyways, I was like, oh, I don't do, like I do YouTube like all day, and then I have other things to do in my life also. But then I was like, you know what, maybe a how do you call it, an extra job. I don't know, this girl is crazy. I think we need help. So maybe an extra job would be okay, because I have so much free time. That's my brain saying I have so much free time, but I don't necessarily. I finish everything at around like 4 or 5 p.m., but I feel like, what am I gonna do for the rest of until I go to bed? So I was like, let me just get something online. And then I had this interview, and then she was telling me, oh, this is how much they're gonna pay you. And I was like, whoa. So me, when I first had my job after college, which was 2000, what was that, 2000, and when did I graduate again? 2012, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 2012? Am I dumb? Yeah, I think it was no, it can't be. Borrow 1 from 10. Anyways, a long time ago in Bethlehem, until it's like around those time, right? Um, let's say it's 2012, because I can't remember. I have short-term memory, like trust me. So yes, and then until 2023, it's the same pay. So the girl is like, the person interviewing is like, is that okay with you? And I was like, hold on a minute, okay? After college, I went to get a job, right? And this is the same pay. So you're telling me 10 years after, you're still paying the same. And I'm not even like saying like because I am like I know, I'm not saying don't give me entry level, and that's entry level when I started, and it's still like, okay, fine, it's still entry level, but why is it still the same? Economy is like climbing all the time, and then you're still paying people the same thing 10 years ago. What is wrong with this country, right? So I was like, you can keep it, right? I know I'm a workaholic, but you can keep your work. Good luck to you. I mean, there might be some students who want to do that, but if they only knew that that is what they used to pay. So, anyways.
Happened was that precisely during that time, there was a very big influx of Dominican students going to Spain to do master degrees because the prices were good, the programs were also high quality, and although it was not so easy to get a visa to go to Spain, it was still a lot easier than it was in the United States. So I had one of my best friends trying to convince me. He was talking to me how Spain was so awesome, that I should go and I should see it, and I didn't want anything to do with Spain. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I just never saw myself living in Europe. That was not what I really wanted to do. You used to get one channel in Dominican cable from Spain, and it was Televisión Española, Spanish television, and it was the most old school content that you can ever see. I don't know, I just was not attracted to it whatsoever.
Cool, but
now that I've been living in Europe for such a long time, I can see that it was not so bad at all.
But we wanted the High School
And then
Musical lifestyle.
something truly fascinating happened. I ran out of options. I could not go to the United States like I wanted. I just didn't have the money, I didn't have the means. So I had to look into the option of going to Spain. And in the year 2004, I enrolled in a master's degree in the Universidad Complutense de Madrid. And I landed in Madrid in October 2004. And I will tell you something, from that day on, my life was never the same. It was unlike anything I thought. I knew geography, I knew history, but it's not the same to see it. It's not the same also to live it. I realized that it was a completely different world. They were modern, they had modern things, but they never abandoned their history. They never abandoned their culture. So as I started living in Europe, my life just changed. Everything that I wanted, the culture, the music, the clothing, that the way people live their life in a way more relaxed manner. It was, I mean, not that Latinos were not relaxed. Dominican Republic has gotten very Americanized in the way that we approach work, you know, from Monday to Saturday, and there's like this hectic vibe happening. And it's something that would surprise you, because you would never imagine that in a country where you have coconut trees and beaches and everything, there is anything other than, you know, constant holidays. But it's not the truth. So what happened was that I started traveling around Europe. When I was living there, I used the opportunity to visit other countries like Italy, like France, and I checked other cities in Spain, and they all had such a different vibe from each other. And that, you see, that is something that is truly magnificent about Europe. Everything, every little city, every little town has its own vibe. And I don't know if you cannot say the same about the United States, because each state has its own thing going on for it, but I don't think it's quite like Europe. I started getting used to the old pubs, to the old architecture, the old infrastructure, and it didn't bother me anymore. I think that was a major moment in my American dream being shattered, I started thinking more and more about what it would be like to live in other places, in other cities, maybe other countries, people with different languages, different customs. I lived in Spain for a total amount of 4 years, and that was the moment in my life when I met Carolina, my wife. We met in the streets of Madrid, very random. I think we recorded an episode where we explained what happened. I'll try to find a link and put it here or up there. That was the beginning of the end for my dream of ever going to the United States. I made Europe my home, and there's nothing quite like it. So actually getting together and marrying a European had a massive impact in my dream. It was not that she didn't want it to. It was not that she prevented it. But she showed me another part of Europe that I had not discovered yet. Central Europe, Eastern Europe. And I learned about the people. I learned about so many things that I did not know existed, just because I had the American perspective. And to be fair, I think it was the best thing. Today, I would never trade it. I would never change a single thing. I think today my life is much better, and that doesn't mean that living in the US is bad. As a matter of fact, I think it's fantastic. I just think that my life turned out the way that it was supposed to turn out. And because of it, I am who I am. I wanted to go live in one country, and I ended up living in 4. As I sit here and reflect about my American dream, I realized that having moved to Europe shattered that dream, but it did for a reason. And today, although I am a Latino and will always be a Latino, a very big part of my heart is a European too. Boom! That's all, guys. That's the end of the episode. I hope you liked it.
How did you end up in South Africa?
I'm really looking forward to making a lot of content and discovering the beautiful continent that Europe is. I have so many countries that I have not visited yet, but I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna take you guys with me. We're gonna discover that. Maybe we're gonna create a Vigosdad travel series, and I hope you are ready for what is in store for us. See you guys on the next episode. Adios.
Yeah, of course, like American media is like really popular in maybe a lot of places, because if it influenced them, of course it influenced me and maybe other people outside of where we both live in. So maybe that's the reason why this American dream comes to life, because they show us the colorful beauty of America and the freedom. The freedom is literally the selling point, actually. But as you get older and as you see, there's not necessarily one. I mean, there is, right? But it's not necessarily like the best kind of freedom, or it's not the only freedom. And yeah, it would be nice to visit, but live, yeah, it's crossed off the bucket list a long time ago in Bethlehem. Especially when you start hearing the news about, you know, racism. For a country that is super diverse, racism is like super strong. And it's not just racism of like side eye or like talking behind your back, but it's like active violence most of the time. So that's the one big factor to why I don't want to live there, is because of that. I mean, if they can pinpoint my freaking ethnicity, then good for them. But still, like, I'm colored, so it will be obvious. Yeah, it's just the violence for me. That's the main no selling point. But everything else is good. Like everything else, the food. Oh, I'm a food person. I love it. I love also the openness of the people. That's one thing. Like I love honesty. Like if you don't like me, just say to my face. Or if you don't like something, just say to my face. I love that honesty. And if you like something, say it to my face. Also, I don't like beating around the bush or like, talking behind my back. Like got something like I'm here. Like you don't have to go anywhere else. It's just right in front, right? It's not like other cultures. Of course, in Asian culture, it's more like do it behind your back kind of vibe. So that's one thing that I really like about America is the fact that it's all up in your face, and also European, of course. Like if you have a country that is like honest in front of your face, and then don't have excessive violent racism, then I'm sold, right? So I'm sold. Of course it's not gonna be like no racism in everywhere in the world, because there is one that exists in France. Recently I just saw towards Asian. I don't know about black people, but yeah, at the same time I'm both. So you know it's gonna exist everywhere in the world, and vice versa. When you come here also it happens. I mean, it still happens to me once in a blue moon. So you it's gonna be a part of life all the time. It's not going anywhere soon. But I feel like if you lay your card on the table, you can pick which one is the best card, right? And I feel like I will be leaning towards Europe, honestly. Like that is the safest bet on the table if you lay it down. But anyways, beautiful peeps, I'm gonna leave you here and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.